in the room right here. Yeah, woo. Woo, 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 woo. I'm John. Welcome to New Jokes Night, everybody. A night of stand-up for all our stand-up lovers. Everybody's telling new jokes tonight, y'all. I'm gonna try and do the same. So if it's not funny, it's new jokes, baby. I recently came to the realization that I am 35 years old.
Oh, wow.
Alright, yeah. Anybody in their 30s out there? Yeah, how old are you?
39.
39. Alright, 39. What else we got?
33.
33. What about you? Well, yeah, I'm pointing at you.
I'm 29.
29. I said 30, man. It's okay. It's okay. At 29, I was like, it's over. You know what I mean?
I'm there.
I am basically there. I'm 35. I'm like staunchly millennial. I feel it in my bones. I grew up with the internet, and then the internet came back to bite me in the ass. You know, I was online the other day, and apparently I am a chopped unk. Did you know this? Why is that so funny? I had to Google it. That's how old I am. I had to Google the term chopped up. Apparently that means I'm unattractive and old. Which I don't feel that way. I feel like I'm in the prime of my life right now, you know? I'm 35. I feel like I've only been an adult for like 9 years. Since I got off my parents' insurance, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm afraid I'm becoming my father. Anybody have those fears? It's like, I'm becoming my old man. Or you're afraid of becoming your parents because, like, when I was younger, I only cared about, like, 3 things. Money, chasing women, and weed. I still care about 2 of those things. Money and weed. That's it. Now I care about, like, fiber at, like, a different level. Trying to protect my asshole, y'all. Colon cancer is the #1 killer of millennials, y'all. This is real shit. I care about hydration for some reason. I was thinking, like 100 years ago, everybody must have been so fucking dehydrated. Nobody had water bottles. Y'all think about this?
Yes.
When you turn 35, you will. I swear to God, you will. I promise you. I care about the temperature in my house. I get why my dad was like, don't touch the thermostat. You fuck with that shit, your bill will go up, man. Georgia Power is fucking us all up. I'm my father, though. I'm sorry. Like, I care about foods that are, like, spicy when they don't need to be. Like, I don't need a spicy salad. Why are there jalapenos on this salad? It's a salad. I feel like there should be a distinction between, like, hot food and spicy food, like, on a menu. Like, if it's listed as hot, it should be temperature hot. There's a word for things that are spicy. It's called fucking spicy. I'm at the age now where I think it's a good idea to start writing songs. Does that make any sense to anybody? Like, I'm trying to write a blues song right now on the kalimba. You know, because the blues is, like, historically, like, a music form built out of, like, the pain of the African-American experience. And the kalimba is an instrument used to express the joys of the African experience. Y'all seen Sinners?
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm hooked up, man. Like, I grew up texting when there was buttons, y'all. Seriously. seriously, it's fucked up. Like I mean, and like autocorrect be fucking with my shit. Like I was texting my girlfriend and I was like trying to tell her that she was beautiful, and my phone autocorrected to vestigial. I'm not calling her useless. Y'all seen Sinners? I don't know. I have glasses now, y'all. I can see, but I still can't. All right, yeah, that's good. I still can't see well though. They don't tell you about glasses. Like you put them on, it's not like you have perfect vision. It's kind of like close to it. You know, like it's not. But you're still blurry. You know what I mean? Like, no, maybe I need to clean these shits out. Thank you. You seen Sinners? This is silly, y'all. Yeah, I don't know, man. I just thought at this age I would be a little bit more successful, you know? At 35, I thought I would be, like, married with a mortgage, a wife, 2-car garage, because we're doing well, you know? Got 2 kids named Clementine. She's 5, precocious. I think she's gonna be an artist one day. Little boy, he's Sterling, 9 years old. He thinks he's gonna be an athlete, but I don't have the heart to tell him, you know? But I'm here, doing jokes. These are all new jokes. I don't know, this is actually just my life, actually. That's actually what it is. Anybody got kids out there? Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. It's expensive. It's expensive. I was like, I could have kids, or I could have 37 houseplants and go out to bars once a weekend. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta weigh it. I could have a beautiful life, or a vestigial life. You can hear about it all in my blues song, Written on the Kalimba, y'all. Y'all have seen Sinners, right? Yeah? Okay, all right. Y'all ready to keep this thing rolling, y'all? We got a bunch of comments coming up here tonight, y'all. Coming up first, lovely lady. She was in my very first stand-up class that I ever taught here at Front Porch Improv, y'all. Everybody give it up for Wendy Bauer!
I'm going to do a clean set tonight. I don't have a shirt on that says, you know, anything can be a dildo if you don't have to use it, or, you know, or I don't have a shirt on that's, you know, says something raunchy. I dressed, and I'm going to do a clean set. I only have to tell you guys one thing. I did a comedy and burlesque show, and I did comedy. Don't get scared. It was not burlesque. It was comedy. But what I did is I bought this shirt. It was a t-shirt and it had pasties on the front of it, and I wore that, had a boa. Anyway, but the problem is, I want to tell you guys, don't ever buy a shirt like that from Amazon, because I had to keep doing this. The pasties were in the wrong place. Anyway, what do you... Kids are very gullible. I'm gullible too. My daughter will tell you that I'm very gullible, but kids are very gullible. I mean, if you buy a kid a goldfish, okay, and the goldfish dies, while they're not there, you go buy another one, right? They don't know the difference. Oh, Goldie's a little bigger? Well, you fed him too much this morning, honey. Don't feed him as much. But if you have a gerbil for your child, and it dies, and you go out and you buy another one, make sure it's a gerbil and not a hamster. Yep. I did that when my daughter was little, and she came home from school, and she got very distressed because Snickers had lost his tail. Plus he had a spot on his tummy, which which was white, which was not there before. I said, sometimes as they get older, what happens is they shed their tail. And they change colors. She didn't buy it. I finally told her that Snickers had, was gone. And so we had Snickers too. But anyway, I think about being gullible. Sometimes I'm very gullible. My daughter told me before we went to Animal Kingdom the first time that the animatronics, that the animals were animatronics, not animals, not live, animatronics. We go on the safari, we're riding through there, I'm sitting behind the lady that's running the thing, and I said, my God, I've been to Chuck E. Cheese, I've been all over, I've seen all kinds of animatronics, but these are so realistic. She stops the safari, she turns around, she looks at me and said, you're kidding, right? No. They're animatronics. My daughter told me. She's sitting over here snickering. But I am very gullible. Speaking of my daughter, because I'm not allowed to say things about my granddaughter because she's right here. Speaking of my daughter, I decided when she came to visit one time we were going to go get a massage. And it was cheaper to get a couples massage, which she thought was weird. But, it's not like we're on the same table. It's not like we're in the same room, but we're covered up. So we're in there and we're getting a massage. And she can't see, of course her face is down like that. And the guy who was doing my massage, he was a little short Asian guy, and he almost had to climb on the table to massage me. And when he was climbing on the table and massaging me, it was squeaking. Squeak, 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 squeak. Yeah. So anyway, when we're leaving, my daughter says to me, did you get a happy ending? I said, why? And she said, I heard the squeaking. I wasn't sure what was going on. I was afraid to look. I said, no. I said, of course not. Anyway, I'm a widow. My husband's been dead for a couple of years. What do you guys think of cremation? Do you like it? After you're dead, after you're dead, of course, because you can keep your loved ones around. So anyway, I have two dogs, two puggy dogs that I had cremated when they passed away, Mushy and Millie. Had a cat cremated when she passed away. That was my husband's cat, and I really didn't care for that cat, but he was already dead, so I thought I'd cremate it. My husband was cremated. So I have my office at home. I'm still working. I'm 71, by the way, but I'm still working. Yeah, I'm an old lady. Anyway, so I have my husband up on the top shelf in a bigger box, because, there's more ashes for a person than a dog, right? Anyway, so I didn't realize that until I had the boxes. But anyway, so, talk about gullible. But anyway, so when I go into my office in the morning, I look at the box that has Mushy in it. That was my puggy dog who was so sweet. And I say, Mushy, you lived a long life, but I wish you were still here. You were just a great dog. And then Millie, she was my other pug, and she was so sweet. When my granddaughter was little and she'd get in the bed with me, I'm sorry, this is one thing. When she'd get in the bed with me, Millie would try to sneak in between us, and she'd say, you get to lay by Grandma all the time. I get to lay by Grandma tonight. So anyway, she was just sweet. Then the cat, like I said, I didn't like the fucking cat. Oh, I'm sorry, this is clean. Oh, God. I've already lost the bet with your mother. Anyway, she bet me I couldn't get away without saying the F word. Anyway, and then my husband, his name was Bill. So when I say, Bill, you always did make an ass out of yourself. Anyway. One time, though, I'm forgetful I'm not real forgetful, but I am somewhat forgetful. And one time I had this medicine that I had for my knee when my knee was bothering me. And I went into the kitchen to take my medicine before I went to bed. Accidentally took the dog's pills. Yep. I was getting the dog's pills and my pills, accidentally took them. So I called my friend who's a vet, and I said, Beth, I took the dog's pills. Is it going to hurt me? Should I try to, cough them up or something? She said, no, what is it? And I said, gabapentin. And she said, no, that's fine. People take that too, and it's just a pain reliever. You'll probably sleep really good tonight. And she said, you know, no. And I said, no effects from it? And she said, no. Oh, I'm sorry, that doesn't happen very often, excuse me. But anyway, trying to stay clean is really hard here. Okay, let me think about another thing here. Oh, dee-dum. Okay, so back in the 70s, anybody here old enough to have grew up in the 70s? You look older. Are you old enough? Anyway, is there anybody here? No? Anyway. Oh, you're not, okay. I think it's hard to see after the lights in my eyes. They forgive me, okay? I know you're not 70. Anyway, so we used to have a smoking section at our school. And yeah, a smoking section. We were 16, 17, and 18. You weren't even allowed to buy cigarettes till you were 21, so I don't know why that happened, but that happened. And I smoked. So, and cigarettes were, are you ready for this? 25 cents a pack. So we couldn't waste them. So, right, you couldn't waste them because they're 25 cents was hard to come by back in the 70s. So anyway, so what I did is I would butt my cigarette and then I'd run to my class. Well, I put it in my purse. I also had some Aquanet hairspray in there. Wasn't completely out. I'm in the middle of biology, and my purse burst into flames. I came this close to getting suspended. I don't know how I didn't get suspended, but I came that close to getting suspended. Yeah. We used to go to the graveyard, too, to drink and to smoke weed, okay? That was the thing that we did in the graveyard. Not disrespectful in a disrespectful way. We just kind of liked to look at the graves. It was kind of like, you got high, you looked at the graves, you talked about the people, you know, thought about what they must be like or whatever. And, it was fun. It's a lot of fun. There was a lot of stuff in the 70s that was a lot of fun. Yeah. We went, I'm not gonna go into it because it's a long story and you just gave me the light. But anyway, when I was first moved into my apartment, my best friend was there. We were listening to music, we were smoking weed, and we went streaking. Has anybody here ever been streaking? No! God, you guys are no fun. What the hell? But anyway, so we went streaking. It was a lot of fun. That was fun. I'm trying to think of the other things that we used to do that were fun. I lost my virginity in the graveyard. Thought I'd just throw that out there. My mother would be proud. Anyway, not on a grave, I was in a car, okay? That would be very disrespectful. Anyway, all right, so my name's Granny Pants. It's been fun. You guys have been great, even if you're not 70. Thank you. And give it up for John, our wonderful host.
Give it over, Wendy. And the other chop talk in the crowd. I like how Wendy said that joke. It's like, oh, I'm just throwing that out there. Like, her granddaughter's not right here. Learn from your elders. All right, you guys ready to get this thing rolling? Coming next, we got Elijah.
I'm gonna sit down. I feel lazy today. Hi everybody, we're doing new jokes tonight and some old jokes. Like I was saying, it's really cool. About 3 years ago, almost today, is the first time I came up on stage here. I know some of y'all know me, but now we're gonna get really personal. Hi, my name is Elijah, and the first time I had sex, I was too anxious to come. And that's pretty much everything you need to know about me. That covers the whole thing. I will say, I've gotten very good at it now, very quick. The only thing you'll find me having are panic attacks. But I've always been a very anxious person my entire life, ever since I was a kid. Never clinically, because I was raised Baptist. But I have had many exes diagnose me since. That was fun. So growing up, I was afraid of a lot of things. Anything you can imagine, whether it be scary stories, whether it be bumps in the night, bats. And we didn't have the benefit of learning box breathing in my household, so we just kind of had to make do. So the best example I have of this is how afraid I was. I used to be deathly afraid of the dark, to the point where like if there was a door that was like slightly open with the light off, I'd be like, Mom, you gotta get that shit. I'm not going in there. It's not bath time yet. But I was so afraid of the dark that when I was 8 years old, for 6 months, I slept with a picture of white Jesus on under my pillow. A framed picture of white Jesus under my pillow. And I will admit, it was all we had. If we had brown Jesus, we could have used it. But you know, regardless, he carried me. But no, I have found as an adult, I've had better ways to start dealing with anxiety. Now that I've had to learn and gotten tools and things like that, like instead of framed pictures of Jesus, I've gotten very familiar with Zoloft and the good old burning bush. Weed, not chlamydia, just to be clear. That just is sometimes. Yeah. But I am still like a pretty anxious person. It's kind of just shifted the problem instead of getting rid of it. Because the problem with getting high when you're anxious is it just makes you anxious about high people things. Like when I get high to deal with my anxiety now, it just makes me really paranoid that my dog is judging me. Because I have a very sweet dog, her name is Violet, she's incredibly adorable, but she also has the eyes of a mother-in-law. Or I'll be sitting on my desk and she'll just look at me, it's like, you know, a doctor came to visit me before you adopted me, you know that, right? And I'll just be like, well, I showed up last, didn't I? And she doesn't talk back much after that. That's because she's a dog. But mental health is something I think is very important, especially for men. Mental health isn't something that we take care of as much as we need to. Especially when you consider, like, the way we grow up. We don't really think about that stuff that much. And we kind of really do have to deal with it, because I don't know if you guys have read any books, but if men don't take care of their mental health, it quickly becomes everyone's problem. Just look through old art schools if you're curious. And like, it's very common out there talking to my friends. A lot of I know many guys who have like a crazy ex story. I'm sure there's some in here have a crazy ex-girlfriend story. And I was talking to one of my women friends recently, and they were telling me how they didn't really have many of those. And the realization came to me is that women don't really get crazy ex stories because women get Netflix documentaries about what happened instead. It's true.
It's true.
That's what happens. And I'm gonna pull you back, guys. It's no joke. I'm gonna pull you back. I promise you. Because every episode, we've seen these before. It all starts with a white lady in a bob cut. Just be like a San Bernardino apartment, a sink full of dishes, and one question: did you hear me? The start to every unhappy ending. I forgot the punchline for that joke. I promise you it's going to be funnier than that. New jokes. Oh, I like that. What else got going on? I wrote my set list on my hand in case I forgot it, because I'm a professional. So let's see, we had the anxiety joke, the raised Baptist joke. We're doing the set list joke right now. I wrote that one down. Let's see, next up we have abortion crowd work. We're gonna kill that, not the Bible. sorry. Plan B. It's okay, I only wrote it 5 weeks ago. Other things about me, I have autism. That's cool. I do have autism. I do sometimes get jealous of other autistic people, though, if I'm being honest. Because I feel like I didn't get one of the cool autisms. You know? Like, I'm not the good doctor. I couldn't save life. I'm not Neil deGrasse Tyson. I don't know constellations or anything. Like, I got all like the stereotypical autism stuff except the fun one. Like the eye contact thing. Monique, Melissa, I love y'all, but this is killing me. Right here, I don't know where else to look. Thank you. I can't count. I didn't get the Rain Man autism. You drop toothpicks around me, I just get scared to step. I don't have movie autism. I just don't. I've got first 48 autism. I've got local man found in woods after Pokemon card ad was placed there. It's not cool. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I got one type of autism. It's good for one thing and one thing only, and you can guess it's not going to be useful, and that is for dinosaurs. Yeah. Triassic fans in the house? Anyone? Yeah, back there. Dinosaur autism, you can't do much with it. They don't really make shows about it unless you're a paleontologist. I really wanted to be one, but when I got in the dirt, I realized it was a very bad texture. I couldn't do that for But no, I do love having dinosaur autism, though. It's very cool. I don't know if any of y'all saw, Netflix just recently dropped a new 4-part dinosaur series. That was crazy. That was like the Black Panther for our people. And I already had one Black Panther, so you can imagine how incredible I felt watching that. Oh, fuck. Other things, as you may have guessed from my clothing, I am also bi, racial. I am. My mother is white, my father is absent. I didn't do it. I suspect the autism came from his side because we have never made eye contact. I think I'm laughing my own jokes too much. Thank you, John. Being biracial is very fun, though. I don't necessarily think I like the word biracial, though, because I think it has a connotation to it. Because when you say biracial, I feel like that kind of makes it seem like it's 50-50 down the line. And it's very rarely the case for me. That I view myself as just half of something and half of another thing. Usually it's in fractions, you know? When I'm hanging out with my friends, it's about 80-20. You know, I'm saying nigga, but I'm also saying, get out of here. Stuff like that. When I'm on stage, it's also different. When I'm on stage, if I'm being honest, it's usually about 60-40. 60 is whatever y'all are. But you know what, just because y'all are in the front, it's a special night tonight. You guys should be here. And on my job applications, I do keep it 100 and 0, because I have been watching the news, and as far as they're concerned, I am white. It's a dangerous game to play. It's very interesting, I've always found it. Because my blackness, I've always felt, is kind of like the letter Y. When I've been hanging around people. Because I also grew up in a very gentrified place in some parts, and then I also grew up in terrible places in other parts, so it's a very mixed bag. So when I say the letter Y, it's kind of take a word like the word fly, F-L-Y. What's the vowel in fly? We all know. Yell it out.
Y.
Y, right? Okay. Now, I gotta think of another word that starts with Y. Shit. It has Y. Take a word like flay. Flay, F-L-A-Y. What's the vowel in flay?
A.
It ain't Y now, is it? That's kind of how it feels sometimes. And it's because I live my life as a black man. That's who I am. And that's how I'm seen as the world, and that's what I want to be. But it's complicated inside, you know? I like to think that inside of me are 2 wolves. One wolf is a black man that is trying very hard to stop calling the inanimate objects in his house nigga. And the other is a white woman who is very excited that the peppermint mocha was back just a couple of months ago. I gotta tell y'all. And I know the whole moral of that story is supposed to be that it's all about which wolf you feed. But if I'm being honest with y'all, it's been a lot easier for me to drink coffee than it has been for me to stop calling my crock pot a nigga. That's my time. Give it up for Diane Toronto.
Keep it over, Elijah. Come on, next, y'all. She just did her first stand-up class with me. Our class show was last week, y'all. She did great. Everybody give it up for Lily!
story. Gonna warn you, not a lot of jokes, because nothing I could come up with in my brain could be crazier than the actual things that have actually happened in this story. So you gotta know like 3 things, okay? I work at a place. We sell ice cream, among things. It's an ice cream restaurant place connected to a restaurant, mostly for tourists. And the second thing, my boss, she worked at like Gulfstream or something important, or not important, but serious for a while. So she kind of like runs that ice cream shop like the military. Everything makes me really stressed out and I don't know why she has that much money. But she does. And she talks like an adult from the Peanuts movie on 2 times speed. If you can understand what she's saying, leave your job and come do my job for me. I don't know. And the third thing was this other guy who used to work where I now work. And we're gonna call him Joe. He was a family friend. Pretty sure he was like an adult, you know. An adult. And he kind of made himself assistant manager by just changing things before my boss could keep up with them, okay? So by like mid-summer, he was like in charge of like restocking and ordering and all that stuff. He was the guy calling the big ice cream company, the man upstairs. And he was gonna go on vacation for a week, okay? So he was like, told my manager, don't worry, I'm gonna order all the stuff, get you guys sorted out. Right before he leaves, we get a shipment of stuff, we're prepared. He leaves. Day like 6 of his 1-week vacation, we get this huge shipment of like 10 things of key lime ice cream. And I've never seen Joe again in my entire life. He did not come back. And like a couple days after, we figure out that was it. We've got all this key lime ice cream, a lot of Superman, because okay, you're 5 years old, we get it. And nothing else. So I tell my boss this, she's like, look, you gotta take all the money at the cash register, great start. Drive to the nearest grocery store, okay. Buy as much ice cream as you can fit in the car, bring it back here, and put it in the buckets. This is why I didn't say the name of the ice cream place. Don't ever repeat this outside of this room. She will find you somehow, I'm sure. But the problem, and there is a problem, was that this was like a family restaurant business that she had married into, and was not owned by her husband, but her father-in-law. And his main contribution to the family business was watching the security cameras in the restaurant for her to mess up. So I couldn't be seen taking all of our money and returning with Kroger brand chocolate chip. So she was like, okay, do all of those things, take it to this Airbnb. Pour it into our store brand ice cream jugs, freeze them, find some way to smuggle them back in there. And I do work there. So I do those things. Clean out the Airbnb. I feel like the Dexter of ice cream, like I'm putting down like sheets of plastic and like mopping and stuff. More cleaning than I did at an actual job, I tell you. And I get it all done and I leave. And as I'm driving home, I get a text from her. I don't check it on the road. I'm a very responsible driver, except for when I'm not. But I get home, like 8 paragraphs of AI-generated ice cream metaphors about our like and the other people working that day, like heroism in the face of like great, I don't know, whatever you would call that thing that happened to us. And that's it, it's new jokes. I don't have any jokes. It's a weird thing, and I need you all to know that in your minds and hearts as well. Thank you. Quick turn, I would never kill anyone. And I love my grandma. But I think we should all be aware. Just keep our eyes peeled. Because if there was someone out there doing a little murder, I wouldn't be surprised if we found out that how they were doing it was just like putting out yard sale signs leading to like a barn or a cabin or something abandoned. Okay? Don't do this. Don't. you didn't hear this from me, but I wouldn't be surprised if someone thought of it like originally on their own. Just because, you know, it's a good idea. Not a good idea, like obviously it's a bad thing, but a good idea, okay? So you stay on the windy side of the law, except for the murder, can't win them all, but they showed up of their own accord. And you know the people showing up are not the ones you're gonna have a problem with. Like, it's not the happy, healthy, well-adjusted gym sharks with like a wide social circle and loving family that are chasing the hope of one moth-eaten lampshade on a Saturday afternoon. No, it's the aging parents you wish didn't live with you, just trying to get out of the way and out of the house the one afternoon you accidentally left your keys on the counter. You're judging me, okay? I would never murder anyone and I love my grandma. I'm pretty sure I said all that. You know, their families would be fine with it, okay? You're not getting it. Like last weekend she wandered around the Kroger handing out unwrapped butterscotches. At least this weekend she's making somebody happy. Okay, come up with your own not murder ideas. Have a great evening.
We'll still wellness check on Lily's grandma soon, all right? You guys ready to get this thing rolling? Come on, next we got my co-host for this show. Everybody give it up for Aaron Wall.
Y'all. Thanks for coming out tonight. I am going to be reading from my phone because it's new jokes. I have ADHD and I don't memorize. And I just turned 30 last week. You can tell because I was standing off to the side very creepily trying to stretch my back before I came on. Yeah, my back is very 30. My soul is ageless, but my back is feeling very 30. As you get older, you do sort of take stock of some of the experiences you've had in your life, and you kind of realize that shit was fucked up, you know? I think it's self-reflection is important. The woman you see before you was fine-tuned by very, very many key experiences. First off, I was raised Catholic. Yeah. And we weren't like casual Catholics, we were like first pew every Sunday, communion ushers, you know, collection box fillers. My dad was my CCD teacher, like that kind of Catholic, whole 9 yards. So this is not J.D. Vance, like converted to a Catholic as an adult, maybe put a hex on Pope Francis, like not like my shit is corn-fed, you know? Put some respect on my name. I also went to a non-denominational Christian school for 18 years, which I'm not gonna, private, non-denominational, like had a great education, no disrespect to my parents, but that shit is crazy in hindsight. I also had a Young Life phase. Do any of y'all know what Young Life is?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. It is also a non-denominational youth group. They do club every Monday, and they do skits and games. They end with a Bible lesson. It was actually like really great and fun at the time. But lately, I've realized that I didn't necessarily need Young Life as a youth. I needed a place like Front Porch Improv. Hey, plug. Because Young Life Club is basically a level 1 improv class. And then Young Life Camp is basically just a super expensive improv intensive with one night of performative crying in the woods after hearing the story of Jesus' death, murder, state sanction. And it's set to stomp, clap, hey music. So, yeah, it's really interesting. Back to my schooling, though. Like I said, super thankful for my education, my parents' sacrifice, all that fun stuff. They're not in the room. I thought they would be, so that's why I included that bit. But my education was so instrumental, so much so that I circled back entirely, and now I'm an agnostic progressive. My parents clocked my ass as a liberal, like age 12, so I think they knew that I knew that the jig was up, you know. I did go there from daycare at 6 weeks old all the way through to graduation at 18. And I have so many stories. I'm going to tell y'all a few tonight. Just to give you a taste, this school recently auctioned off the corporal punishment paddle of one of our tenured high school principals. That's what, and I tell no word of a lie, like that is what we're dealing with. I don't know what it went for, but it was on the Facebook page, like this is an official thing. So first up, we have spring break sophomore year. I had just gotten my driver's license, cruising around. I had spent the night at a friend's house, and I was dog sitting, so I got back early that morning to let them out. And so, unbeknownst to me, my car had a defect in it where I could take the key out of the ignition before putting it in park. So, I go and I let my dogs out, and I think to myself, how funny, there's a person driving my same car that's reversing out of the driveway. That's so silly. Yeah. So a few minutes later, a lady knocks on the door, and she says, hey, girl, your car has hit the mailbox in the adjacent house, and is in the middle of the street. I'm like, great. And this mailbox happened to be the mailbox of my former vice principal. Yeah. And so I do need to set the scene. This middle school vice principal, he was like your classic final boss boomer. He screamed at everyone if they set a toe on the grass. And this is at school. This is not his personal grass. This is the school's grass. He also always had one hand on the back of his pants, fully skin to skin. And that same hand was used to serve dessert at lunch every day. Yeah, his name was also Mr. Hefner, which to a middle schooler is just the funniest shit ever. Anyway, so my driver's ed training kicks in, and I march my happy little ass, and I was not happy at the time, but I was like, I kind of got this in the bag. I know this guy, Luck is on my side. And so I have my information written down, and unfortunately he was not in his house. So I do what I can, I stick it in the door and hope for the best. I go to sleep that night, I wake up the next morning, and I have a text from the lady who I was dog sitting for, and she said, hey Erin, do you know anything about a hit and run? The cops were here last night. Yeah, and so I didn't smile once at school that day, but I had my whole plan. I was gonna go get a plant and a card and go to his house afterwards, still in my school uniform, so he'd really recognize me, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. And luckily, he was completely understanding. He remembered me. I told him I'd be back later that weekend to fix the mailbox, all is well. And so finally, I'm on cloud 9. I've got a 2-minute drive home. I'm like, okay, let's go. And I pull up to my house, mind you, and there is a prisoner transport van in my driveway. Yeah. And this fucking cop, sorry, but he's got a puffed up chest, he's probably 5 feet tall, sorry. And I'm just okay, this is gonna be a problem. And he's giving me shit. He's acting like I'm lying. I'm telling him I just left this dude's house, all is well, whatever. And he's like, well, I have to go corroborate your story. I'm like, okay, go do that. And I'm freaking out. My parents aren't, my license at the time, I just got my license, was still paper. And he was implying that my license was fake. I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely you wanna go see my printing setup? Let's go. And so he goes back, and 15 minutes later, he comes back to my house, and he's got his tail between his legs. Obviously, I wasn't lying, but just again, come on, give me a break. I was literally weeping in front of this man's face. I digress. I just got off. Okay, so my next story has been the subject of at least one therapy session, which, what is this if not a public square therapy session, So we fast forward a little bit later in high school, and my junior year was a particularly hard year for disciplinary infractions at my school. For legal reasons, I will not be sharing which school I went to. Savannah Christian. Go Raiders, bitch. Fall semester, we had a big group of people get kicked out because they were drinking at an away football game. And a bunch of us, I know this sounds like white Christian prep school shit right now, so just hear me out. We got a charter bus, and we had a cool mom friend come and be our chaperone. And we set out to Eagles Landing Christian Academy in McDonough, Georgia. And I did have this bad gut feeling that morning. I've always been a bit of a psychic. I had a water bottle of vodka in my purse, and I just went ahead and took that out because I just had a bad feeling. Fortunately, I was right. But we didn't even make it into the game before one of our teachers clocked someone who was very clearly overserved. and immediately the shit was on. Like, we had kids running in the woods, we had cops everywhere. Like, it was insane. We did not see a single snap of football, I'm not kidding. And it was actually really sad because like 8 kids got kicked out that weekend, and like all those kids had to find a different way home to Savannah. Like half of our bus tribe was gone, like it was awful. And a lot of those kids were actually like seniors and about to graduate, so just like kind of brutal. But unfortunately, there was another dumbass group of kids who saw their peers get kicked out for drinking off campus and decided that it would be a good idea to bring alcohol on campus and drink at the drama club lock-in. Yeah. And I know, like, I'm a bit of a theater kid too, but can you think of a bigger group of narcs than the high school theater kids? Like, please be for real. And so, of course, they get caught. Of course, they get kicked out. There are 3 kids in my grade. Many of them, like, again, went to school there forever, so it's just, like, sad. But I really don't have that much, I don't hold that much pity for them, because, again, you saw that shit, and you thought, yeah, let me do this. So on Wednesdays, we have chapel. And the following Wednesday, our headmaster is, like, rolling through the halls. And this just means one thing, and that he is our chapel speaker for the day. So the school was pregnant with tension, truly, and that was the only thing pregnant, because if you felt pregnant at Savannah Christian, you would get kicked out immediately. Only the girl, of course, though, classically. But I have to set the scene as it relates to our headmaster, because I know I'm pretty tall myself, but Roger Yancey had to be like 7 foot tall, and he also had the countenance of Gollum, like scary motherfucker. And he also had a house on campus, which in hindsight was like really weird, like lived on campus. Like, have you heard of work-life balance, bro? Like, for real. Cannot stress enough how scary he was. He was soft-spoken too, but not in the endearing way. It was like the way that struck the fear of God into you, which I guess means he was perfect for the job. This is where we get really fucked up, y'all. I don't recall the exact content of his chapel speech, but what I will never forget is that towards the end, he began to make a Russian roulette analogy. After which, he produces a gun. I tell no word of a lie, I do not tell lies on stage, and points it at the ceiling in front of the entire student body. And dear listeners, I will let you in on a secret that none of us knew at the time, but he had taken the starting gun from our track and field coach. So she was the only other person in that room. I'm talking, like, we had huge classes. This was probably 500 people in our auditorium. But she was the only other person in the room that knew that that was not a live weapon, which is pretty neat. So as he made his analogy, he would aim the gun at the ceiling and pull the trigger. And on the 3rd attempt, finally fired, and we realized it was a cap gun. But like, hello, like, pregnant pause again. The only things I really remember is that I was picturing myself on the news that night wearing a tinfoil blanket because I was convinced he was about to go postal on our asses. Like, of course. Can you blame me? And 2, I witnessed my poor algebra teacher, who, by the way, served in Vietnam and was in the Pentagon on 9/11 working. Like, poor guy. He dove under the bleachers, as he should, as soon as the gun came out. But he fully said, fuck them kids. Which, like, this was his retirement job, and he did make it known that that was so. He did not need that job, and he was not about to go down on our account, like, for sure. It's so fucked up. The biggest joke, really, bigger joke than any I've written tonight, and none of it, again, no word of a lie, y'all, is that he continued to be our headmaster for 3 years after that. An old white man traumatizing a group of children and not facing any consequences. I've never heard that one before. That's my time, friends. Thanks, y'all.
Classic headmaster in Georgia, y'all. All right, we got one last comic for you tonight, y'all. You got that energy? Let's bring up to the stage, it's Rich,
So just like Lily, I did my graduation set last week, so this is my 2nd time actually doing this. And just to give you some information about myself, I do have ADHD, so I might go all over the place, I might go off on a tangent. I will eventually get back to the point. It just might not be tonight. So you'll have to come see me again if I don't get scared off the stage. And if you need to remember my name, just think of it this way. He's the guy with the resting rich face. So yeah, I did get a little nervous tonight because when I watched my first set back, like because of the ADHD, I tuned it out during the show. But I realized when I started watching it back, I was heckled by a baby. And I think I noticed somebody bringing a cute little puppy in, so that made me a little nervous because I'm like, got heckled by a baby? Now I'm gonna get heckled by a dog. But yeah, the first show was super nerve-wracking, and to top it off, I also took a clowning class last week. And the performance of that was on Saturday. And one of the things that we kind of learned during the class was something called fixed point, where you kind of get your body to freeze. But you have to keep that energy, that intent. And I'm a visual learner, so I had to kind of think of something to like keep that energy when I'm in a frozen position. And the only thing that like really resonated with me was like being completely frozen as I'm trying to run into traffic because I'm sick of all the shit that's going on in the world right now. So we got assigned costumes, like 2 days before the performance. So I got assigned what was basically wealthy, mediocre white man in party dress. So it was tough. You know, I did go to Goodwill, found great suit jacket, nice scarf, top hat, bow tie, and I was really happy with the costume. So happy, in fact, that I wanted to throw a Molotov cocktail at myself. And like part of my problem with that was like over the last year I've been kind of trying to remove that programming that we're all brought up with. Like, you've got to work hard, you've got to make money, you've got to buy the fancy car, you've got to buy the fancy house. And in that kind of, I don't know if you want to call it deconstruction, I did quit my corporate job of 17 years last year. No plan, nothing, just decided to take some time off, use my savings to live. But I was kind of like, well, maybe I should get a side hustle so I don't blow through all of my savings and just enjoy the free time. So I did what any sane person would do. I considered opening an OnlyFans account. I am a baker, so I figured doing, like, using my wealth of baking knowledge, people might pay for that. You know, I've got great cake recipes, piping tips for and I've got a great tip for getting your cakes moist. But then I'm like, that involves a lot of cleanup, it's gonna eat food, it's just like, it's just gonna waste. So I did consider the adult route, which was a little scary because my entire life I've kind of struggled with my weight. So like at my heaviest I was like 320 pounds and like now I'm back down here. And it kind of does things to your body and I'm like, who the hell would want to see pictures of me? So I took some pictures. Looked at them and I'm like, you know, it kind of looks like a crime scene almost. Like an arson. So you kind of look at the picture and you see this big pillar candle standing in the corner that looks like it barely survived the house fire. Nobody's gonna pay for that. Sorry. So yeah, front porch has really been huge for me. I've had the opportunity to do some improv here, but stand-up has really kind of been the hardest thing for me, because you don't know when somebody's gonna laugh, you don't know when they are gonna laugh, and then just completely throw you off. And like going back to the baby, after I finished my set, because of like all that adrenaline, I went up to my car and like completely cried my eyes out. No, it's okay. But you know, just getting this opportunity and coming up here and making people laugh, not so much tonight. But I hope to, you know, I really hope to continue doing this. And now I just know I need to write better material. So, that's actually what I learned in the clowning class. So like with the ADHD, like you do learn that there are explanations for like certain behaviors, you know, when you were growing up. And I used to have these facial tics. You know, like I shift my eyes around just so I could feel that tension to kind of help me regulate my nervous system. I'd open up my mouth really wide, kind of like a snake. And I was viciously bullied. I had 2 really horrible bullies. And because I was brought up Catholic, I really had to forgive them because they were my parents. But those things really did, the facial tics, come in handy as an adult. Like the eye thing, like I have a great side eye. And then like the thing with like opening the mouth really wide. I'm not immune to a lonely night. So I often find myself in a dive bar somewhere, in a dimly lit corner, sucking on a giant margarita. I know it's depressing. But yeah, the ADHD is super difficult because, like I said, you go off on these tangents, and that's my set.
Keep it going for Rachel. And keep it going for everybody you saw tonight. Give it up for Granny Penny, Elijah, Lily, Eric, and Rachel. We do this show once a month. We'll be back, I believe, May 19th, baby. Come check us out, y'all. We do have another show coming up at 8:30, y'all. So once this is over, could you quietly, or not quietly, you don't have to be quiet, but orderly clear out the theater so we can clear the space and make it ready for our next 8:30. Thank you guys so much for coming out.